Amid the outrage over Pakistan's humiliating behavior towards Jadhav family in both the houses, Minister of External Affairs will today make an official statement on the issue. Sushma Swaraj, who was present in the House yesterday, said a statement on the issue would be made today while strongly criticizing Pakistan for Sham meeting. Yesterday, members of various political parties, including the Congress, Shiv Sena, Trinamool Congress and AIDMK, strongly protested against the treatment meted out to Jadhav's mother and his wife in Islamabad.
Okay.
I see the removal of the Mangal Sutra as equivalent to Draupadi being stripped in open court. And the only answer at that time, which Lord Krishna said, was war. And war it should be. We should now prepare for a war with Pakistan, which appears to me anyway inevitable, and break up Pakistan into 4 parts, making Baluchistan, Pakhtunistan and Sindh as independent countries.
So what exactly happened during the Sham meeting between the Jadhav family? In fact, Pakistan is chest thumping about it, calling it a favor to India on humanitarian grounds. Take a look as we decode the meeting between Kulbhushan Jadhav and his family.
A much-awaited meeting between the family members that was expected to be a humane gesture between India and Pakistan is today a topic of outrage and criticism. Kulbhushan Jadhav was promised consular access specifically by meeting his aging mother and a distraught wife. Kulbhushan Jadhav, who was illegally in custody of Pakistan, then also convicted. But at least it appeared that Pakistan was willing to be humane. Instead, what we saw on that crucial meeting was these 2 rooms where Kulbhushan Jadhav was present in one, partitioned without any physical interaction between his own mother and wife. India today has decided to recreate the Foreign Office of Islamabad where that crucial meeting happened so that we can show to you all the inconsistencies that Pakistan decided to portray. Let's go inside the first room so that we can show you how the family had to sit isolated and not able to meet their own son. Imagine this yourself. After a strong stand by India at the International Court of Justice, after consistent efforts by the government, Pakistan finally chose to give consular access. But what we had was this tragic partition. An aging mother, the wife, managed to travel all the way to Islamabad to meet their only son, who was until now, for 22 months, kept in illegal custody, convicted on charges never proven. And then all the mother could do was sit across this partition barrier. The mother told the foreign officials later that the son did not look like the one she remembered. To not be able to touch your own son, to give him a hug, for the wife to not able to be interact properly. And before we forget, let us remind you it was not a personal meeting. There were not only phones, but the CCTV cameras, the cameras behind the family members, security personnel sitting here who ensured that the mother could not even speak to the son in her native language, Marathi. They had to then converse in Hindi or English, breaking the barrier for which she had known her son. The intercom only was the mode of communication. And when she asked her son, "What about those marks on your head?" all that was responded in return was, "Do as they say." The mother had to change her clothes. She was allegedly strip-searched as well, to have taken down her sindoor and Mangal Sutra, allegedly for security reasons, for the wife to look at her husband not knowing what exactly had gone wrong. Was this the humane gesture that Pakistan's Foreign Office had promised India? How is the Indian government supposed to react to this, to the mother and wife who went out of that specific office waiting for media persons to humiliate her? But this was not all. This partition barrier that you see clearly only shows Jadhav's face and probably the mid-portion until the phone. The intercom that the mother used to speak to her own son. We will now show you how exactly Jadhav's portfolio that was shown to her own mother-in-half basically portrayed not only the torture marks but the lies that Pakistan continues to propagate. Partitioned by 2 rooms were these family members who had not met in 22 months. Now we'll take you to the room where Kulbhushan Jadhav was sitting and why we only saw a portion of him and the person who wasn't even able to give a physical interaction with his own family members. Kulbhushan Jadhav, a man expected to be in his 50s, a businessman who was in Iran when Pakistan took him in illegal custody and then convicted him on charges of espionage. Today, when the mother met him, the son, she clearly told officials he looked not like her own son, that he looked much older, probably somebody in his 70s. That's what 22 months does to an individual in Pakistani prison. We see only probably this much of him in that one photograph or 2 which was released by the foreign officials. But most significant were the marks on his head which were noticeable and then continued to be criticized. Were those torture marks? And most importantly, the mother asked him, what exactly are those marks on your body? To which he said, do as you're being told and do not ask more. But she clearly maintained that this was not the son she had expected to meet. Significantly, one intercom, constant presence of cameras. In fact, what you see is again this glass partition where the son promised consular access, couldn't even be able to hold his own wife and the mother. And behind these 2 women was JP Singh, Deputy High Commissioner of India, who was told that he will be accompanying the family and yet was kept at distance, partitioned by another glass so that he does not even interact either with Jadhav, give him any legal references if possible, and stay at far and not even interact with any of these individuals. You can clearly notice the bindi that was removed, the forehead sindoor that was removed, no jewelry on the mother as well, and the wife just looked on at her husband, who was a naval officer and then a businessman, today for almost 2 years in the prison, surrounded by cameras, phones, security equipments to ensure that no secret talk happens, when Pakistan had promised a personal meeting to a man who's right now on a death sentence. Indian government continues to portray a strong stand. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj is all set to react on this issue, but more needs to be done after outrage and criticism is pouring from across the nation of why would Pakistan be so inhumane. Pakistan government says it's only bickering of words, but what about this man, Kulbhushan Jadhav, arrested on flimsy charges that Pakistan has not even been able to prove in full? Does Indian government need a stronger support?
Sudhi Ranjan Sen now joins me for more on this story. Sudhi, this sort of a behavior possibly was expected from Pakistan. It's nothing new, the kind of, they don't honor the agreements, the international laws. Possibly, India failed to anticipate the magnitude of what they are trying to pull off, this entire photo of the heckling and so on and so forth. Now, what are the options for the government of India in dealing with this situation?
Well, I mean, that's what, that's what it appears, that India did not anticipate that it would go, or go to this extent, which is why day after the meeting you saw a point-by-point rebuttal, a counter by the Foreign Affairs Ministry coming out. But to what effect? Not really, because, I mean, in India really, apart from the rebuttal and it's not been able to come out with much, and neither can it expect much. Today we can expect the Foreign Affairs Minister, Mr. Sushma Swaraj, to come out with a statement in the Parliament. But what sources are indicating it's not going to be anything new from what we have heard earlier. It's going to be again the similar points raised by the Foreign Affairs Ministry being told or being said in the Parliament, and thereby getting some amount of a sanctity, so to say, because it's in the Parliament that she makes a statement. But apart from that, there is nothing much in this. India, of course, can use this diplomatically, whereas Pakistan, it seems, in this case at least, has already stolen the race.
Thank you so much, for joining me with all those details. With that, we are slipping into a very short break.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.